Oh, there we go. Just waiting for this to pop up. It says we're live, but I'm not sure. I'm just waiting. God, it's been too long. I haven't gone live in like the longest time. I like that dragon. Oh, they just sold out. I learned a day or two ago they just sold out. They only made 1,000 of George Washington.
Yeah, I saw a video.
Yeah, I got that.
I almost got one of these for you.
I want to say a year ago, like either the beginning of the year or late last year, and I saw it by chance in some stream, and I got lucky because I never heard of. Oh, there we are. I never heard of. I never bought from Bunker Bullion before. What'd you do? Go get a Band-Aid, you weirdo. Go fix that. Come on. Alright, I gotta slide this over. There we are. How are you guys? I haven't been live in a while, so come on in. We're gonna basically play catch up with everything that's been going on. How are you guys doing? Planning? Perhaps how's everything going? Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a very productive year, very busy year. I feel like time's going by faster and faster when it comes to just doing things on the daily. But yeah, there's been a lot of movement, a lot of things that are going on, and hope everything you guys are working on is going well. Just a lot of news, a lot of good information to get to. One of which is silver, and I know you guys. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here, but talk about going direct. A couple fascinating articles to talk about is, again, people are talking about more and more now about Samsung. You coming in or no? All right. Samsung and their battery, how they're going to put double the life and the span of EVs and the technology. So as of right now, I know Samsung's been in Mexico for a while, but they're going more direct. They're bypassing COMEX and LBMA for silver, and they're not the only ones. I just saw an article today about execs from China going to Mexico and doing the exact same thing. In this article from Mining Weekly, Silver Storm, it's a mine down in Mexico. It's partnering with Samsung to reopen Mexico silver mine. So it's offline right now, but they're going to bring it online and just go absolute direct. You talk about direct to consumer. That's exactly what they're doing. Silver Storm Mining has partnered with subsidiaries of technology giant Samsung to offtake prepayment financing to restart the past-producing La Perilla silver mine in Durango, Mexico. So the $7 million 18-month facility will be used to restart operations, including mill rehabilitation, upgrading underground development, and working capital for La Perilla. So this is going to be a long-term project, especially for their batteries, and not just them, but other countries. So you talk about tech, military, and just countries buying, like Russia made that announced in September of last year in 24 about not just buying gold, but also buying silver. And then this year, it just exploded with so many countries buying into silver. Saudi Arabia buying ETFs of it, like the baskets. You got Russia buying large amounts of it. India, I think, made one of the biggest one-time purchases. And you got billionaires, tech billionaires buying into it as well, taking actually physical ownership of it. So these are all things that it's fascinating. You love to see it. You love more people getting into it, and not just that, but so many new people are getting into it now. From how long ago that we first started talking about this to now, I saw the explosion last year. So let's see here. We're gonna need some mods in here. Hold on. I want to know, how are your stacks shaping out? Are you guys still stacking? Are you dollar cost averaging? Are you new into this market? Again, there's so many people flooding this. Go ahead. What do you got?
I'm still stacking. I was once asked the question, "When are you done?" And I said, "You're never done."
Yeah, that was a good question that was hit with not too
Yeah.
long ago.
And yeah, dollar cost averaging. Yeah, there was stuff that I bought at 25. There's stuff I bought at 45, and there's stuff I'll buy at 65 because I need to build the stack.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna start a poll. How long have you been stacking? You kind of do it late, like what, a year and a half ago?
Yeah. I mean, I got serious probably in the last 2 years.
Wait, no, how about this? How many asks? Let's change this. On stacking. Well, what other news have you been hearing about metals and whatnot? Like, how many people stack who you work with?
I know one guy that's into crypto, and despite my efforts to spread the word about stacking and fractionals and precious metals, guys just aren't buying into it. Kind of when we did some other activities, I approached guys like, oh, I have to talk to my wife, or I have to wait for my income tax refund check, or whatever. It became a major decision, and they opted not to participate. And then when things got kind of squirrely, they came to me and said, hey, are you still doing the? Nope. Got out of it. Taking care of ourselves, taking care of my family instead. So despite your best efforts to help other people and spread the word, folks are still resistant.
All right, I got a poll out. How long have you been stacking? I'm trying to get an idea of, are you brand new? Have you been stacking since like the last 5 years when things got crazy? Or have you been stacking for 10 plus years?
Admittedly, I got into it late. I was a kind of a casual stacker, and then realizing with certain world events and things happening that I needed to step up my game and get more active. A lot of it's, how much disposable income do you have in a given period of time? Do you have, $100 a week to invest, or $200 a week? And do you buy sovereigns? Do you buy rounds?
I got you a couple Eagles. Was that the one that did it for you?
I think so. I had some tubes of bullion silver, 1 ounce rounds from SD or some of the other bullion dealers out there. But yeah, I like the idea of sovereigns. I like the fact that they're recognizable, backed by a government mint. If it comes down to it, somebody might be more inclined to take a sovereign, whether it's a Britannia, a Maple, an Eagle, a Krugerrand, a Philharmonic, or whatever, as opposed to.
Well, I think it comes down to the why. Like, why are people stacking? Because you have a lot of new people that are flooding the market, which is great, but is it a combination of fear of missing out because other people are getting in on it, and then they do it because everyone else is doing it, but they don't exactly know why?
No, I think people are beginning to lose faith in the system. They're starting to realize that.
Are they? Yeah, I'm saying, are they aware of the system failing, or they just see other people flocking into gold and silver, like on popular platforms, eBay, whatnot, online auctions, and they see people getting in on it, so they see the excitement, so they want to get in on it. It's almost like gambling, especially with the auctions. So they're swiping, trying something, trying to win things, and then they get it because they're pretty, it's shiny, there's a lot of hype behind it, but they don't fully grasp the true value behind it.
I think it's a combination of things. For me, the generation that I'm a member of, we were raised in the public system that when things go bad, somebody's going to come in and help you, whether it's FEMA, the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, some other NGO. Somebody's going to help you out. So you don't need to be as self-reliant as you need to be today, because in recent history, um, you know, national events, weather events, um, I think I've lost a lot of faith in the system being there when you need to be, um, and I think that's what kind of kicked it in gear for me. Is that I there were a lot of things that happened that I realized, hey, we're kind of on our own doing what we need to do to take care of our family.
But it's multifaceted too.
But there's also the fear of missing out. I mean, some people are getting into it, and I saw a stream last night where I think someone overpaid for an item only because it was being offered by a YouTube personality, and they want to be able to say, "Hey, I got this pick of metal from so and so," and now they've got bragging rights.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
But he paid twice.
It's metal. Again, how educated do you think people are when it comes to gold and silver and metals as true value and money and currency? A lot of people aren't aware of this. They're not being taught it like we probably once did many, many decades ago back in the education system. So many things have changed over time where it took from having the gold and silver certificates and then having the Fed dollar come in. And then it took, 20 years for it to be fully accepted. So it takes time. It's like anything with change. It takes time to have it adopted. But once it's adopted, you kind of forget about the old system. It's just like credit cards and debit cards, and then things becoming more digital. We can make online purchases. People are carrying less cash. People are utilizing more of the swipe, and that's why I think debt's accumulated so quickly, because you don't have ledgers anymore. You don't have checkbooks in use anymore. It's gone so bad now where it's buy now, pay later, where it's just ones and zeros being created in thin air. Look at the repo market back in 2021. Went flat, and then just in October, they created over, I think they got it going again in October, and then again last month, and then whatever it's going to be this month. So, and now quantitative tightening has ended. Now quantitative easing, QE's back in play again, something that was never utilized in the financial world. From 2008 and on, all I hear was QE, QE, QE1, and it was QE2, and then QE3. So you have all this data information coming in. And let's go back out to, let's check out the markets. The futures just opened up. I'm looking at Kitco.com for precious metal prices. And it's silver's, everything's up except for palladium. You got gold's up to 43.05 for the ask. Silver's up 5 cents to 62.04. So it's just back over the $62 mark. Platinum's doing phenomenal. This year it was in the 900s back in January. Now it's 1757. So those who bought platinum and probably, getting made fun of are doing pretty well right now.
But here's my feeling on platinum and palladium. Anything that's non-gold or silver. To me, yes, it has value, but in a grid-down situation, I don't think people are going to barter with palladium or platinum. They're going to say, hey, gold's been a barterable commodity for thousands of years. So has silver. That it's recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
People know what it is. They know it has value. I mean, with palladium and platinum, if I have a gram of palladium or platinum, it's silver. It looks like a gram of silver. And unless I'm paying attention, I don't want to give somebody a gram of palladium or platinum, which is $100 a gram or whatever.
That's good
as opposed to a gram of silver, which is $1.50.
Bigger purchases, like
Right, but it's not as easily recognizable as a gold coin.
You know what is though? 24 karat gold.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't matter where you are around the world. I can pull this on my wallet, and you're gonna know exactly what this is for the most part. I mean, India wears their wealth, and they're buying huge into gold, not just gold but silver too. You need to talk fractionality. I'm seeing more fractional gold. I want to say there's been a huge uptick from I want to say summer of last year to this year. Again, you love to see it. This is great. This is something that was long overdue for people to protect themselves. But at the same time, be educated. Have a plan before you start jumping into metals. Why do you want to buy metal in the first place? I mean, it's great that prices are growing up, but get educated first I mean, I've read so much history about the Coinage Act from 1873, how the Fed came to be, and knowing what real money is and how it maintains its value. It's a store of value. That's all it is. Some people call it an investment, and in some ways it is, but it's an investment in your finances. So when the dollar goes away, and again, every currency that's ever existed when it comes to paper has gone away, what has always maintained its value is metal, gold, silver, for basics. We were a bimetal society until the Coinage Act, and then 1900 became official. I remember seeing an old historical poster of a silver coin on the ground and this gold coin with a big spear going through it in 1900, really trying to cement that no, we're a gold standard now. It went from de facto to full on gold standard because a lot of those powers that be that really wanted to control things knew that the average person couldn't afford gold, at least in large account, numbers that like they could. So you can understand why gold prospecting has always been in play. We got away from it, now we're going back into it.
And one thing I like about it is that I can be my own banker. If I need to effect a repair on my house or my car, eh, instead of taking out a short-term personal loan or something from the bank where I'm paying interest, I can sell off some silver
Mm-hmm.
or gold, depending on how much I need. And I control it. It's not like, hey, I need to go to the bank and the ATM is shut off and my account is shut off. I can, be somewhat self-reliant and either sell it or trade it for a good or service.
You know, it's a great source, Sound Money. A great group that is educating and traveling around, trying to educate people and say, listen, go back to the basics, go back to Sound Money. And so many states, especially the last 5 years, have really adopted and gone into, I only have one example here, but like the goldbacks. I think there are now 10 states. I think Colorado is the latest one. And then Idaho is going to be after that with goldbacks, fractional gold that you can spend. It's 24 karat. Again, there's so many options out there. You have goldbacks, you have fractional, you have silver dimes, you have constitutional slash junk silver, dimes, quarters, and half dollars. And those are growing in value. And there are people who are trying to save the junk silver slash constitutional from melt. But if it's so slick, I understand it. But just the value in it, you can use that for fractional spending down the road for tools or services or food. People are heavy into crypto. I totally get it. I was a big, believer in it early on, like 9, 10, 11, and 12, and so on. But as you learn more about things and as things evolve, you realize, okay, who's behind it? Who's really pushing this? And what if there's a blackout? I mean, again, it goes back to what Lynette Zhang has been talking about. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. So you got to take that physical possession of it and be your own bank in many ways. I mean, this is liquid. There will always be a buyer for silver and gold. And I got to tell you, it's just a good feeling to have. You got more people that are getting in on it. I see more younger people getting in on it and stacking, which is fantastic. So again, there's this resurgence and growth of getting back to the basics. Think farmers markets, think buying meats locally, buying local honey. It feels good being more connected to the system. Like peer-to-peer transactions, that's how it should be. So you've got the excitement of people getting in on gold and silver, which you'd love to see. Again, we're getting back to the system. We're getting back to the basics. We're getting back to tangible assets. And everything's cyclical. We got away from it. Mass production, mass manufacturing over the decades, digitizing everything. But at some point, you become so separated from everything that when you have those sit-down moments where you're actually holding silver in a hand or even transacting in it, it feels good. It's almost like exciting when you transact with it. You feel really more a part of the process. There's more of like a connection to it, especially when you start getting into not just bullion pieces, but pretty pieces like this, for example.
And you're in control of your own finances. You're not at the mercy. You're not at the mercy of a banker or an institution.
How many times have people gone to the bank to make a big purchase and you'll say, I need 2 or 3 grand or so on? And they'll say, what's the money for? I remember the first time being hit with that, and I was taken aback. I was like, I just want my money. I want to make a purchase, and then, and at some point, you're just, I was like, just give me my money. You feel like a child.
Now you have to make an appointment.
Yeah, I know. I've heard those stories. But again, just piece by piece, have a plan, come up with a reason why you want to stack. Why do you want to buy metal? And for example, there's some articles here. Again, Mexico's blowing up with people going direct, like Samsung. Again, right here. The Perla complex comprises of, let me see here, underground mines, and Samsung is just going direct. They're giving them millions of dollars to just go buy direct from there. This is coming from miningweekly.com. And then you have Samsung's Silver Squeeze, the $52 billion battery bet just broke supply. This came out December 13th, yesterday. All right, so you got, this is from Financial Revelations. You got discover why Samsung's massive $52 billion battery investment just shattered global silver supply chains, and how this corporate bet on electric vehicle technology creates a squeeze that impacts both your investment portfolio and the future price of consumer electronics. Now think about what we just talked about. Russia going big on silver last year, September, and then you got this year, majority of countries, not just gold, but silver. ETF's physical collection, now that the fact that we're flying silver everywhere, which has never happened before. Let's see here. While you choose between gas and electric for your next car purchase, this industrial demand shift reveals how tech giants are quietly cornering essential materials, leaving everyday investors and consumers to face the consequences of shortages they didn't see coming. So that's just one facet of it. You got electric vehicles. Then you also have the military aspect of it. And then you also have countries buying it for their own protection. And then on top of all that, you got debt, overborrowing, overspending. The fact that our debt, at least here in America, we can't even pay the interest on it anymore. And you got paper contracts just making things extra, sporty. So I'd be curious what's going to happen when the markets open up here in the morning, Monday morning. But again, keep stacking. Make it manageable, but have a plan, and make sure that you're adjustable with your plan. So start off with bulk silver with bullion. And then if you can do gold, get some gold. But again, diversify, have a plan. That's the most important thing. Hey, how are you, Chu? Again, answer the poll. Let's see what people are saying about stacking. How long have you been stacking? What are you stacking? But more importantly, why are you stacking? Because you got countries getting in on it, and whatever the big guys are doing, you kind of want to follow along because they know something. They know what's coming. Look at the big techs. You got a lot of them selling their own stocks, getting liquid, and have been liquid for almost 2 years now. So they know what's coming. So something big's going to happen where you can buy things affordable. And then the real trick is have a plan for when that happens. So when there's a revaluation, when there's a gold revaluation, for example, what debts are you going to pay off? What investments are you going to get in on? Let's check this. All right, so I've asked some people how long they've been stacking. We got one vote so far. Been stacking for at least 5 years. Again, a lot of new stackers, especially because, of everything that was happening the last 5 years. We had the big dip and it started going up again.
I wonder if the stacking 5 years ago was COVID related.
Try not to say the C word. Yeah, that's okay. But that's true. That's the thing. A lot of people caught a lot of wind of that. You had a lot of QE happening because of that in a rush. They're doing it again, but a little bit more kind of like slower. Before they just kind of ramrodded things happening because there are a lot of panicking going on, especially February of 2020 and on. Worldwide global panicking. So a lot of things were just kind of shoved out there, including metals. A lot of people got in on that.
People are stacking TP instead of silver.
Yeah, now it's people are waking up. But again, they're waking up, which is good. But at what cost? Like, again, it's just a long time coming. Everything is cyclical. It's just a matter of when and what.
Do you think there's been an increase in mainstream media attention towards metals that are driving some folks to the market? Because, hey, you've got some of these YouTubers and other podcasters talking about it and saying it's a fad, it's got no basis. And
Oh,
then
who just said
when
it's gold in the ground? Dave Ramsey.
yeah,
It's just a gold rock in the ground, yeah.
But then when people when the media when the big media gets involved and they're like, oh wait a minute, check this out, check that out. People are like, hey, wait a minute. If my favorite news outlet says it's important, I should pay attention to it.
Exactly. So, all right, let me ask you this. For those who are watching live and then after the fact, put in the comment section how long you've been stacking. And without going into too much detail, what's your plan? What brought you down to the, like the Socratic method? Why? Why are you stacking? What brought you into it? What made you say, okay, I'm going to walk into this local coin shop and say, hi, I'm brand new. Where do I start? Or did you have a plan? Did you have some idea from what you've learned online or heard from others? Did you have a friend or family member say, hey, I've been doing this, let's do this together? Like, what got you into metals? It's always the why.
Well, I witnessed that firsthand at a coin shop where a gentleman brought his mom in, and she was probably north of 65 or 70, and she had lost faith in the banking system. And he'd been stacking for a little while. His son was stacking. We had this conversation, and he brought his mom in with a significant amount of money so she could invest. And
I wonder what did it for her to say, okay, I'm in. Was like several things that kind of lead you into.
I don't think she was old enough to experience the depression like my parents were.
Yeah.
Where they saw runs on the bank. Where my grandmother took in a boarder to help pay the bills and make ends meet. So she was. I think she was probably a product of the 40s, but not the 30s. So she was probably just post World War II. But she trusted her son enough to think that yes, this is a better investment than getting 1% at the bank. And maybe she saw a story about bail-ins where banks could take her money, and she would have absolutely nothing. Where if she were to have silver or gold in a safe in her home, being her own banker, or having her son help her, thought that was a worthwhile investment.
I love asking the question why. What draws people into stacking? Even if you're new, build on volume first. Silver buffaloes, build the weight up, and then pay attention to the ratio. I actually played the ratio for the first time this year. I've seen people listen to their stories talk about they've played in the past where you can actually talk about earning more silver or earning more gold playing the ratio. And I remember, and the only reason I remember was April because it was tax time. I walked into our LCS and I had 4 tenths, but I had 2 at the time. And I pulled him out and he was busy. A lot of people were selling metal to pay for tax bills. And I just said, I want to play the ratio. I want to, at least try it, give it a shot. So I had 2 tenths and I got 17 eagles at the time. Came back the next day when he wasn't so busy. I think I caught him like maybe after the lunch rush. I pulled out the 2 tenths. There was like a small line, but wasn't as busy as the day before. And he just popped down behind, knew what I was going to, ask for. And he just came up the tube and handed in the 2 tenths and grabbed my 17 eagles and walked out. So I had 2 tubes of 17 eagles. And that was when it was 104 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. And now the ratio is
65, 68.
Yeah, so I'm checking the poll now. You got 33% new and excited, and then stacking the last 5 years. I've been stacking since 2012 because of our daughter. That opened my eyes to a lot of things. It's amazing how Superstorm Sandy came through, and I see people dumpster diving in, CBS 2 New York, which was wild. And then it starts asking the questions. How do we stay warm? How do I feed my family? How do I take care of them? And then that led to a notepad full of like a to-do list. So again, it comes down to the why. Why are you stacking? And for us, it's protecting our family. not leaving just dollars in the bank, but something you can actually hold on to, and it's liquid. This actually maintains its value. Has been money for 6,000 years. I mean, I can hold this up and you recognize what 24 karat is. And God bless anyone who's been doing it for as long as they have been. I've heard people talking about getting in when gold was in the 300s, 400s in the early 2000s. I know, and look at it now. So it really tells you and paints you a great picture of where we are financially with our dollar, the strength of our dollar, the purchasing power of our dollar. And there's some more information here I want to share with you guys. This is coming from discoveryalert.com. Global metal markets under stress. Understanding strategic resource control in modern economics. So again, Chinese silver export restrictions. January 1st, there's going to be restrictions, not just from China, but the fact that China is actually going also to Mexico, buying direct from these mines. So you have Samsung waking up a mine just to go direct. So you're bypassing the LBMA, you're bypassing the COMEX because they're taking forever with their deliveries. They're trying to incentivize people to say, okay, take your silver, keep it in here, and we'll pay you to just have us hold this for you because they need to have that physical possession. So we have people from all around the country, the world, countries, not just countries buying it and taking possession, saying, I want this now, this is mine, give it to me. But now private. So you got both directions. You got countries saying, I want this. You got private saying, give me this, I want this as well. So they're between a rock and a hard place right now.
But I think the thing with Samsung is they want to guarantee their supply chain because they need to supply their battery factories with raw material.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think they don't want to be at the mercy of some other entity. They want to be able to control their own destiny.
Mm-hmm. Like right now, just refresh the future markets on Kitco. Silver's up 10 cents at 62.09. Gold is up just under $7, 43.07. Platinum's up $9, 17.61. That one, I gotta remember, 900s in January, and now it's over 1,700. Yeah, everything's in the green, except for palladium. So again, have a plan. Why are you buying? Why are you stacking? And then readjust that plan every now and then. Take reevaluation of what you have, and then what your future goals are. Let's take a look over here. Yeah. I gotta do this more often on the weekly. I used to go live all the time. And I love your feedback. Listening to you guys when it comes to preps, being prepared. Meat prices. We gotta get back into meats again. You got Tyson shutting down factories. That's a hell of an article if you want to read that one. But again, buying local and knowing where everything's being sourced. Buying your silver. Holding onto your assets. Gold, silver, however you can get it. Have a plan. You got food. We talked about preparedness for so many years on this channel. Freeze-dried foods, canning your own food, shopping local, buying local, even growing your own food if you can do that. So many people got into chickens 5 years ago, having their own eggs, and then learning how to process their own chicken, which you love to see. So again, yeah, the prices are going up. Some people, it may be concerning to them. Some people are excited, some people are not. I totally get it. Here's the funny thing: when metal prices are going up, cool, that's neat. When the metal prices are going down, I'm still excited. That means you can just buy a little more, like dimes. What I've been doing lately is, since prices have gone up so much, God, I remember buying 5 Eagles for $100. Now it's what, 2 for 130?
Yeah. Or 135, I think we saw yesterday.
Yeah. So what I do now is I'll hand over some cash and I'll say, I want to buy this, and then whatever change I have, can I get dimes? So instead of having, fiat change, I'll get change in dimes.
90%.
Yeah, 90%, preferably that. I'm working on a guardhouse, so. And then again, depends what your goal is, what your plans are. How do you want to use this in the future? Are you long-term? I prefer long-term. It'll just protect yourself. Give yourself the hedge protection against inflation, overspending, overborrowing. So in case anything happens, you can take care of yourself, your family, When there's revaluation down the road, which I can't see why not, pay off some debts, work on some investments. In fact, probably, you know what, just for fun, shop real estate, shop some land, look where you might want to buy it. So if there's an opportunity, you've saved yourself the time and effort, and you have a better idea of what it is that you're going after. Yeah, you got new stackers, but mostly the ones from the last 5 years. I didn't get to see anyone on here vote for 10 years or more. Again, you're never too late. And the fact that this stuff makes the mainstream news keeps it interesting. It's kind of one of those, like, once it makes mainstream, makes you wonder, like, oh crap, like, how much time do you have left? Let me check the markets one more time, yeah?
Well, we see that, but the newcomer is seeing kind of like the first blush. It's like, hey, this is getting some attention. Now, it's been kind of I don't want to say subculture, but quiet conversations amongst your friends and family about investments. And now that it's on the majors, now it's got credibility. You know? No longer is Uncle Eddie the crazy guy talking about silver and gold, and now it's
Yeah, exactly.
some talking head on the network saying you should be investing in metal.
Got my first kookaburried this year. You know what's wild? This is 2026 with $75 on it. We're at $62 and it's almost 2026. It's kind of apropos and crazy. Again, there's so many options out there. Food, securities, metal. Again, have a plan. It's not just about metal, but why do you want to get ready? Why do you want to, be your own bank, for example, in case anything were to happen? You have the flexibility to pay peer-to-peer. In fact, if you go online, for example, goldback.com, you can see a whole map of businesses that accept goldbacks around the country. So if they're accepting goldbacks, there's a very good chance that they're going to accept silver as well. If they're accepting one form of metal for payment, why not silver quarters or silver ounces for landscaping or contractors or plumbers, for example, or other businesses for a form of payment?
Well, we asked our mechanic if he takes metal, and he does.
Yes.
Because a woman came in, I forget how long ago, and wanted to pay in precious metals.
Mm-hmm.
He may just hold that, consider it a deep stack investment or whatever. He may flip it to fiat because he's got to, do something for the shop or whatever. But
I love the Washington piece.
There's an option for us to, my car needs some work, and hey, I could sell off a tube of whatever's.
Or go direct.
Yes. And not worry about the premium. Just say, hey, because sometimes the local coin seller will give you back a spot when you know that something's worth significantly more than that.
Exactly. But look how long it took us to get to this point. Get back to the basics. Get back to real money. Get back to having that more of that control. I mean, again, everything's cyclical. We get too dependent on one system. Realize there's so many vulnerabilities in that. And the more tech heavy you become, you're putting all of your eggs ultimately into one basket. What if there's an extended power outage for some time? What if certain systems, like, again, remember a few weeks ago, websites weren't working. You couldn't make purchases. You couldn't swipe and buy things. A lot of people were on the Amazon network. It was on a Monday. This was a few weeks ago. I remember that. And even with my own business, I couldn't use ShipStation. So I had to go old school, fill out the labels, go to the post office, and get those packages out. And that just happened one time. You wonder, is it a test run? Was it organic? You kind of wonder how vulnerable things are and how dependent we are on certain things. I mean, we're talking just a couple generations ago, people had buried gold and silver in their backyard. They had cold storage cellars for food, and they would can their own items and everything and shop locally. We got away from it, and we're realizing we need to get back to this more and more, just because of how vulnerable things are. So again, what are you guys doing to prepare and get ready? Just, have safeguards in place. It's like insurance. You have car insurance, you have home insurance, you have life insurance. Why not have a little extra layer when it comes to metals and things of tangible assets? Gold and silver, very basic, very universal. And I love the fact that more people are getting in on this. Again, everything's cyclical. We're getting back to the basics. I just hit refresh on the market on Kitco, and gold is up $6, 43.06. Silver's up 11 cents to 62.10. So we're back over 62 and holding. These are the futures, just something to kind of get an idea of what's going on. But again, the biggest thing is I've seen several articles, and the two big things are going direct to consumer. You got the consumers going to the mines. So you got Samsung going big on buying silver direct, because there's new batteries that they're creating for EVs in particular are going to double the travel on those, and it's going to use, I think, a kilo of silver per battery. You got the George Washington pray. Yes, I love that when I saw that.
It's going to double the range and immensely decrease the charge time.
Exactly.
Those are the benefits of those batteries, those cells.
But again, I'm so happy that more people are getting in on stacking. However you can, again, think constitutional, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and then get in on the bullion. And just, a little bit here and there, but just being consistent with it. I think that's what helps make it more manageable to accumulate more and more and make it healthy with your day-to-day life and responsibilities. And yeah, then getting your family and friends in on it too. Do you want to grab the big George Washington 5 big piece? That's cool that someone talked about the George Washington praying. Oh my gosh. This one right here. This is from Bunker Bullion. And I got this, I want to say early this year or late last year. And I just found out yesterday through another streamer that he had bought the last, I want to say 9 or 10 of them. And he only minted 1,000 of these. I wish I got more, but I'm so happy just to have gotten one. Just a big fan of this one. This is just beautiful. And the whole story behind it, how it was a British soldier who had followed Washington into the woods and was taken aback by him actually getting down and praying. But it showed you how different things were back then versus now. But yeah, this is just an absolute beautiful piece. Per usual, if you knew then what we know now, would have gotten a few more. But I'm so happy to see, like I said before, those who are stacking, continuing to stack, those who are brand new, getting in on it. This is beautiful. They're realizing they're preserving their purchasing power with metal. Again, this is how we can help each other out. Friends, family, being consistent with it. And thank you. My husband has a CNC business, and I got this piece in the mail a few days ago from SD Bullion. They have this series called the Commander series, and I didn't get in on it until just now when they had George Washington featured. So I asked him, I was like, can you please make me a holder? And that just looks so good. So again, your plans are going to grow and change. You're going to diversify. But again, have a plan. Just have an idea of why is it that you're stacking and how to protect yourself and be your own bank. And then you'll be surprised how many people around you would actually accept gold and silver as payment. Out of state, a lot of them do. And our mechanic, we just found out a few months ago that he said yes. I asked, I said, hey, out of curiosity, would you be willing to accept metal for payment. And he said, oh yeah, actually I had a lady do this not too long ago. She needed car work. She said, hey, I have gold and silver. He said, absolutely. So people are aware of the value of gold and silver. Diversify, especially now that the price of gold being 4,300 plus, you're going to want fractional. Think grams, preferably sovereign with security features from a reputable place so you know it's real. And if you're not sure, I want to say the majority of local coin shops will actually help you test your metal. If you walk in, you can ask them, hey, I just bought this. Can you just verify it for me before I hit confirm from, an auction? Aren't they about buying something? And more often than not, they'll say yes. Again, it's about reputation and then getting your business. That'll help people. So yeah, absolutely love this one. Again, there's so many options out there when it comes to fractional anything. Like you can even buy fractional gold nuggets. This is from Alaska. It's just under a half. You got 0.426. That was actually a good deal. I think I got that in auction. Lots of options out there. Gold, silver, fractional silver. Yeah, 1/10. This is a proof Libertad. You got sovereign, which are coins that are government issued. And then you have rounds, such as, again, the George Washington praying from private mints. These are great to have. Let me see. Oh, all right. We got a change in the poll. We got 5 votes. All right, cool. We got 20% for 10 years and on. You got 40% in 5 years and 40% new. So you'll love to see it. I'm telling you, I can see that, when you walk into a coin shop, more people are going in there, which is fantastic. You're hearing stories, hey, I'm new, or I just started. And you're kind of quietly, excited in the background. People are waking up, and I love it. I love the fact that people are realizing that you have an option to protect yourself. And this is just one of many. Food. And the next thing, once you have this, take care of yourself with food. Freeze-dried meats, buying local, get to know your farmers, support them. More importantly, they really need support now more than ever. When you think, oh yeah, we're supposed to go.
We're awaiting a phone call to pick up a quarter of a cow from a locally grown, non-steroidal, non-hormonal, non-antibiotic.
Yeah, this could be what? How many pounds? 2 something?
213.5.
Nice. And that's a quarter of a cow, and that comes out to, I think he's charging $8 a pound.
$8 a pound.
So think about steaks and putting back meat and whatnot.
And,
I like this one. This is fun.
The farmer, from my understanding, is very passionate about it. He cares for his stock.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a business. It's not just a.
Oh, the prospector.
It's a avocation.
Yeah, absolutely.
An occupation.
Again, feel good about where you're buying your food from. Feel good about what it is that you're doing. Putting meat back, putting metal back. You're basically taking control. And a lot of people need to get back into that. Where is... Oh, there's 83. Trying to find 83. That was Little Mitch's year, right?
I think that was the hardest one.
Yeah, these are fun. Again, this is what happens. You can start off with bullion and wait. And love to have you on board. Again, share with others, why are you stacking? What are you stacking? How has your plan changed? I love to hear the why and then the expansion. Like, okay, well, now you've gone into metal. Are you getting into food? Are you getting into security? Are you getting your friends and family involved? That's the thing. You want to keep going and expand. And this is how we take control. Again, countries, it's not just us, it's everyone else. The money printing, the inflation, the debt. And then you see countries saying, okay, we got to get control. We got to protect ourselves and our citizens. So the fact that they've gotten into not just gold, but silver as well, I can only imagine what next year's going to bring. Can you imagine where we're going to end this year with prices Guns and gold, absolutely, and silver. Yes. Yep, diversify those metals.
Lead and brass.
Yeah. And then protein. Get some freeze-dried meats. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Fun story. When I got in on this back in 13, when prices, I believe it started when it was $14 an ounce. I had a lot of APMEX rounds, a lot of buffaloes. I was just starting out, so I didn't get in on these just yet. But I traded a few tubes in, I believe in 2022, when it was 28 an ounce. I'm going to have to go back and check this. But I traded some silver in for a Harvest Right freeze dryer. And again, take one investment, let it grow, flip it into another one, and let that grow. So again, then you're really diversifying. You're giving yourself options. So now you have metal to take care of yourself. Let that grow over time. Put it into another investment.
And that other investment is another way to protect yourself and your family.
Exactly.
You know, instead of relying on someone else to sell you freeze-dried food, you can get your own food and freeze-dry it.
Make your own meals.
Make your own meals, and you know exactly what's in that package.
You know what? The poll, this is getting interesting. 44% new and excited, 33% 5 years, and 22% 10 and on. There's a lot of new stackers. You'd love to see it. And there's even new channels that are popping up I'm subscribing to, just trying to support them. Like there's, I think a firefighter and his friend are stacking, and they think they just shared their story. So again, diversify. Metals, different shapes and calibers and sizes. Get your, but more importantly, get your friends and family in on it too. Help explain to them why you're doing this. Like with our family, the tooth fairy started dropping off silver rounds instead of dollars underneath the pillows. And I'd love to hear more stories about that same tooth fairy putting metal underneath the pillows instead of cash. And that's how you get the next generation in on it. And then they get excited, and then they get it. And then you start buying the Tuttle Twin books about Jekyll Island, and then you understand where money's coming from and where, how it's used and how it's created. But more importantly, on top of all of that, they understand the value of why people have for thousands of years utilized gold and silver for money. And just the value behind it. That's the thing. And it gives you peace of mind. In case God for anything were to happen, you have an option to pull from. Either an emergency or just the long haul. Set it and forget it. And then just keep adding to it. It's like anything else. All right, poll change. We have 50% new and excited, 30% 5 years, and 20% 10 years and longer. This is fantastic. Again, it just makes you smile. And it's not every time you walk into the coin shop, but almost now. You see new faces there. Like, who are you? What are you doing? This is great. And just yesterday, we saw a guy walk in and say, hey, and then we hear from behind the desk or the counter, 2 eagles? He's like, 2 eagles. And he's in there every week getting his 2 eagles. So, again, it's just...
He was in and out in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, not even. Yeah, he was real quick.
Well, and we also saw a video the other day where a gentleman had his 5-year-old daughter who traded all her coins
Oh, that was fantastic.
from her piggy bank
Yep.
into silver.
Mm-hmm.
And he afforded his kids an opportunity at a local farmer's market to see what vendors would take silver.
Mm-hmm.
And they could buy anything they wanted as long as it was healthy or not candy or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a 5-year-old and her older sibling who realized the value of real money.
Mm-hmm.
Dad's bringing the kids in to a coin shop, and they're trading fiat for silver.
Mm-hmm.
And they know the reason why.
Yeah, they get it. That's the thing. It's getting your kids involved in everything. Seeing that Commander series, yes, yep. It's I didn't get in on the rest, but let me tell you, this one popped up. Ugh. I was like, all right, you had me at Washington. That was just too good.
And it has the 250 privy on it, too.
Yes. That's a deep stacker right there, for absolute sure. Yeah.
Coming up on that anniversary for our country.
Yep. Yeah, you get it. Yep. Yep. I stack it all. Food, especially silver and copper. Yeah, again, copper's going up. That one is the ADVP. It's Advoib. Wait, hold on. ADVP? It's a French one. avoirpois, I believe. It's the French measurement for copper.
The avoir du poids.
Yeah. But again, it's amazing how there's a story. I'm trying to remember what channel I heard it on. There was a guy who worked at a shop, and in 1965 he actually asked the husband and the wife who owned the shop, "Can I swap out? Can I keep the silver dimes, quarters and half dollars that come in?" And he did that. Wound up stashing it in his parents' basement. And some years later, he came back and was reading a paper, and in the paper there's this ad from a coin shop saying, "Hey, we're taking any and all silver, 90%." And he's like, "Hey, I remember, I have it here." Went down to the basement, took it to the guy, and got a check, I think for like $6,900, and bought a brand new car with just the exact amount with that check. So he flipped that some years later for a car, brand new car. So again, I love these stories. It's one of those, buy it, protect it, set it away, and just see what happens. Like, don't even look at anything, and just do an experiment. Set it for like 10 years, for example.
And we saw the guy at the coin shop the other day play the ratio. He came in with
Yeah.
a pile of silver,
Mm-hmm.
pulled $80 out of his pocket.
Oh wow.
And got an eagle, a gold eagle.
12 votes. We have new and excited, still half of all of them. So you love to see it.
Yeah.
I did I'll be curious when to actually get back in and play the ratio. I got in, I brought 4 of these and got 2 tubes of 17 eagles in each tube. I did 2 and 2 at when it was 104 to 1, and now it's 68-ish if I take a look. So I'm trying to figure out how low to go to switch it back to gold. Do I wait till like 50? I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know. Have any of you played the ratio? Did you back in April or just thereafter when it was high? Even in the 90s, did you swap out gold for silver?
I'm still stacking.
Still stacking, but I wanted to play it so I took a few raw ones that I had and I swapped it for some eagles.
I did recently pivot to fractional gold, so I'm working on an ounce of gold 1 gram at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It's manageable. I can take my time. I'm not forsaking other obligations, and
yeah,
if I can afford it this week, I'll get one this week. If I can't, I won't. You have to be disciplined. You have to exercise some self-control.
It's like the guy with the 2 eagles. He goes in every week, gets his 2 eagles. 54% new and excited. 31% 5 years, and 10 years plus 15. This is great. This is exciting. People are waking up and realizing, hey, I have options here. Let's utilize this. So again, find great channels with information. Find those who are sharing good information about countries buying, companies that are buying, why they're buying, and then come up with plans. So stay educated, but at the same time, write out a plan. Come up with why am I buying this? How to, again, not financial advice, come up with a weekly, just being consistent. Even if it's just 90%, even if it's just $20, you can buy 5, maybe 5 silver dimes with $20 and just put it away. Be your own little fountain, You can start off with that. You can be as little as that, or depending on your situation, you can buy fractional gold. You can buy silver rounds. Watch some auctions, just buy from reputable sources, and then feel good about what it is that you're buying. Take care of it, put it away, and then inform others. Get your family in on it. Get your kids in on it and explain the why. Get them excited. Say, hey, look at this. You tell them what this is. You can say this is gold. This used to be money. And get them used to the look of it, the feel of it. And then at the same time, while you're handling it, you feel what a true ounce feels like. You feel the density of gold. So in the future, if you're handling it, you say, hey, wait a minute. Is this gold plated? Is this, tungsten? Is this real silver? Because again, unfortunately, since there's a lot of new people coming into this, you'll see pieces where it says 0.24 and you think it's 24 karat and it's only 24% gold content in that round and in that piece. Stacked a lot. Let me get caught up on here. Stacked a lot in a short time. Definitely found the game later than some, but I'm ready for the ride. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Just better late than never. You're in. and think about what a head start you have versus just people who are just watching news and being distracted, unfortunately. So you can wake people up, coworkers, friends, family, and you guys can start stacking together. You can start going to coin shows together and get excited and really get diversified. Find some great deals there too. Went to a local coin store or a show. And what did you get at Spot?
I got a gram of gold, a pimp Swiss gram of gold in an assay for $150.
Nice. Silver will be over 1,726. You know what? Anything's possible at this point. The way things are going with inflation, no one saw at the beginning of the year silver over $60 because you started off at just under 30.
It doubled.
Yeah.
In the last 12 months.
And then I remember that dip in June, it was 29. So like, get Silver Eagles. I'm like, hurry, get to the store. I remember that crazy dip.
Buy during the dips.
Was it May? Yeah, that was crazy. So again, if you're paying attention and watching this and other channels with metals, you're already ahead of the game. You are getting ready. You have physical possession. So again, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. And I've heard Lynette Zane talk about that many times over. I mean, I remember getting these quarter gram gold for, God, under $30. I think it was like $25. Again, it's fractional. And the way prices are going up, this will actually be a great tool for barter, trade, services, wherever the case may be. You're not overpaying. Again, a little there, a little, here and there, each week being consistent will give you peace of mind.
Eat the elephant one bite at a time.
Absolutely. The poll is at 53%. We're over halfway. That's fantastic. People are doing the right thing. They're waking up and they're realizing, hey, let's get back to the basics, what's real and tangible and holds its value. You love it. All right, yeah, again, we'll be doing live. I haven't gone live in like the longest time. We've been busy getting stuff done, projects, and I think I'll make this a weekly again. So we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Leave some ideas in the comment section. Call will be crazy, that 1,700 silver prediction. What they did when I called Bitcoin over 100,000 when it was $1. Exactly. Anything's possible. It depends on the market, depends on the trust in the dollar. The purchasing power is less than 3 cents. I mean, you can go on the Fred and look that up. Lots of tools and information out there. It's just finding good bits of information, finding good people who are knowledgeable, who have been in this for a long time. Gold Silver Channel is a great one. He's been doing this since the 80s. Maloney. Lynette Zhang, she's been doing this, God, since the 80s. So again, find people who have been there, done that, or who are just now giving back to the community, who are educating people, saying, listen, warning, heads up, here's what's coming our way. Just at the very least, be prepared. The basics, taking care of yourself, taking everything that you've worked so hard for. Instead of just leaving everything in the bank, because we had the bank bail out, and now the next one's going to be a bank bail in. And then no one ever reads those contracts when you open up a checking account or savings account. No one ever reads the fine print that that's technically not your money unless you take it out. So God forbid there's a banking holiday like happened in 33 all over the country. People lost everything, their pensions, their retirement, their funds. And then whatever you're supposed to get after that, it was just value-less. So again, food, think the basics, silver, gold. Get to know your local farmers. Get to, be resourceful. If you have land or even a deck or a patio, you can container garden tomatoes in the summertime. Just supplement just a little bit, just like 20th of silver or fractional gold. Just a little bit here and there will add up, and you'll be amazed. You'll just sleep that much better at night and feel good. And if you get your friends and family on board, it's just that much more fun. You can diversify. Someone will say, hey, have you seen this? You'll say, no. Hey, I'm going to this coin show. Did you hear of it? No. Let's go together. Absolutely. Let's go. You might score pieces at spot, or maybe just behind spot. You never know. Those stories do happen. But it's just, that's how we start working together again and having that community start being put back together. Shopping local farmers markets, food and whatnot. So, feels good. I just hope silver goes up slow and steady, but it may not. Again, the beginning of the year, silver was under 30. Now we're over 62. Actually, let me just check the market for you guys one more time. Everything in the green, slow and steady, but again, it's the futures. Silver is 62.08. as of right now. So slow and steady. You don't expect, miracles, but at the same time, gold, I remember last April was $21.82 an ounce. And right now it's $43.03. So anything can happen. If things are constantly surprising me, I never would have guessed that we'd be, this high in December for a year, doubling silver. So next year we got China cutting off a lot of exports and limiting exports of silver, and they've flown into Mexico to buy direct. Samsung has invested into a silver mine that was offline. Now they're putting that back online for their batteries. So countries are buying in, companies are going right to direct source. Anything can happen. Have a plan, be ready, and another way to just protect yourself. Give yourself just that much more of an advantage in case anything happens. And then I'm almost banking on the gold being revalued next year. Just, for debt and everything else. What is it, $42 and change?
Yeah, that's what the original, the old calculation was, the old valuation.
2026 is a new year. Have a plan, be ready, and just anything can happen. So if you guys have any ideas, definitely put it down in the comment section below. We'll carry it over for the next one. We're in close little shorts, going long, taking delivery. This is the run on the remaining silver. Oh yeah, JP Morgan, absolutely. Yeah, it's wait, what is that? It depends. You got a lot of JP Morgan. Yeah, that was a big sell off, but it still held just at around the $62 mark. You got a lot of shorts in play. And now I think they just decided to go long. So again, things can happen just like that. Who's going to protect themselves? The banks and the big players. So you got to protect yourself.
And what are the paper contracts? 380 to 1?
Oh, it's higher than that, but yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah,
that we know of.
Yeah, so for every 1 ounce of silver, there's supposedly
call it 400.
Call it 400 contracts of just made up silver, just paper. Yeah, so can you imagine the first person that collects this, and everyone else behind them is saying, "Nope, sorry, we have to give you cash because that's in the fine print for the contracts." If they don't have enough silver or gold, depending on the contracts, they will give you cash. If you actually go to collect and they don't have enough. That's why LBMA is in trouble. COMEX, the cooling. They stopped trading for cooling in Chicago.
Open a window. It's like cold out.
Yeah, the things you make it go, okay.
The Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
When nobody's focusing on the important stuff, they're out there taking advantage of Black Friday sales.
Let me just take one more look at the poll. Yeah. That's, again, the things that are wild. Yeah, again, more over 50% new buyers. This is fantastic.
But once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the thing. For a long time, people were ignorant or unaware or uninformed or uneducated or pick your term.
Yep.
But now that there's more people seeing it,
yeah,
nobody's buying into the the cooling tower froze in Chicago in November, and we have to shut the computer off. Like I know a lot of people in IT, and there are systems that have redundant systems that have tertiary redundant systems.
I saw a lot of eye rolling.
That, they're not buying it.
No. All right, so we're going to do this again next Sunday. We'll schedule it. I'm going to say probably 6 p.m. But again, leave any comments down below. We'll check it again. Any topics you want to discuss, we'll do some research on it. But again, come up with a plan, retool your plan, get friends and family on board, work together, be as creative as you possibly can. Play out what ifs or scenarios, and I think that'll help people.
Got an idea.
What's that?
Get a whiteboard. Get a small whiteboard, set of markers, make a list.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I want to do a monster box. Hey, I want an ounce of gold fractional. Hey, I want to collect every kookaburra out there on the planet.
Yep.
Manageable, visual. A lot of people are visual learners and are goal oriented. If they see it every day,
it'll be a nice reminder.
It's a nice reminder. Say, hey, I'm working towards this. And
if,
if you have the opportunity to maybe catch some overtime at work or something like that, hey,
play to your advantage.
How many hours do I have to work to buy an eagle, or how many, whatever. That's when I was younger, and I wanted to purchase something, whether it was a car or go on a trip or whatever.
Make an investment.
How many hours do I have to work to make this happen?
I wanted a harvest rate for years, waited because I, didn't hear the best reviews, and then was like, you know what? Got the customer service on act and things got better. I said, okay, I'm going to pull the trigger. So we took this that worked well for us.
One investment.
Yeah, and it rolled into another investment. That thing has been paid for off for more than you realize. So again, if you can get yourself harvest right, that's another great investment. Again, we talk about protein and things going offline and how they want us bugs and everything. Just take care of yourself. Come up with a plan and everything. Get solar while you can. Rice, beans, seeds, water, filtration, salt. You know, let's talk preparedness. Now that we got a good pulse on what people want to talk about, we can totally pull that out next week. And I'll do some digging. Oh, saltwater lamp. That's another good one. You know what? Let's do preparedness and metals next week. I'll come up with a to-do list. If you guys have any ideas, put it down below, and it'll make it happen. So, guys, look, be safe and well. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. We haven't done this in a while, but we'll do this, regularly. And again, help out one another. If you have any ideas, put it down below. Where you shop, what you're finding, where you have good deals, what part of your plan is. Maybe help other people how you got started and how it's evolved.